Hi everybody, Tara Green here. I want to talk about something quite rare and unusual that's happening right now and explain to you what a specific astrology term uses. So the more you know about astrology, you can use the specific divine timing for your benefits. Okay, so the astrologers have a term called the moon moving void of course. So if you've never heard of this, what it means is that the moon is moving between signs. So traditionally the moon works with the 7 classical planets. So the 7 classical planets are, we know the sun and the moon are not planets. They're called luminaries traditionally, but we refer to them as planets. So the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. So the 7 days of the week are named in honor of these planets, which were considered to be gods by the Greeks, the Mayans. All ancient civilizations saw the planets as gods and goddesses. So the moon is making any of the major classical aspects, which is a kind of sacred geometry, which is in order of strength, the conjunction, 2 planets together, the square, they're at a 90-degree angle, there's friction, the opposition, not as strong, but pulled in 2 different directions, the trine, nice positive supportive aspect, and a sextile, which looks like a little star, so 60-degree aspect. So astrology is really all about sacred geometry. You have to understand that, and it's really like the soul's code. So the moon, representing everybody's moods, everybody's feelings, everybody's unconscious, governs how we feel. Okay, so it is the mood of the day. Wherever the moon is, whatever aspects the moon is making, that's how you're feeling. So on the 5th, the moon is moving from the sign of Aquarius, a nice light air sign, okay? And it's moving void of course at 6:46 p.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. That's 3:46 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and add 4 hours, 10:46 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. I know you're watching all over the world here. And then even though it enters Pisces at 8:47 a.m., I'm going to favor Eastern Daylight Time because that's where I am here in Toronto, Canada. The moon does not make any major classical aspects to these personal, what they call personal planets. The transpersonal planets are the ones that were discovered later: Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Chiron, etc. So it's very rare. I don't remember. Usually it would be that the moon, when it enters another sign, it is already not going void of course. And I had to look at this. Now, another astrologer, Astromax, had a TikTok about this. So he said that the moon is moving void of course for 51 hours for more than 2 days, which is true, from the 5th. Okay, so let me explain this to you because it might be a little confusing. The moon does enter Pisces on the 6th at 8:47 a.m., but it is not making major classical aspects, those 5 classical aspects to the other planets, okay, which is unusual. Okay, it is making some aspects, but not traditional ones. Like, for example, the moon will be inconjunct or quincunx or 150 degrees away from Venus, but that is not a traditional aspect, even though I use it and I think it's important. Traditionally, it was not used. Okay, and then the moon also sextiles Uranus and Taurus, but of course Uranus is not a traditional planet, so it doesn't count. This is where I do not agree with traditional astrologers because these things are actually happening. And since the late 1700s when Uranus was discovered, and the late mid-1800s when Neptune was discovered, in 1930 when Pluto was discovered, they are in our consciousness and we're growing, we're adapting. You have to keep using what you know consciously is out there. And to me, they're very, very powerful. These, I don't think of them as transpersonal. They do govern generations, but they are very, very personal up close. You're definitely going to feel a Uranus transit, a Neptune transit, definitely a Pluto transit. Okay. Now, it does say in my book, though, that the moon squares Mars in Gemini, so I don't know why that's not marked, okay? That should be marked as a classical planet. So maybe I'm discovering a mistake here, and we are in the Mercury shadow. So again, everybody's kind of familiar with Mercury retrograde right now. Mercury just stopped going retrograde on the 2nd, but it's in a pre-shadow period before it starts to turn retrograde, and then it's in a post-retrograde shadow before Mercury comes back to where it was, where it initially turned retrograde, which was at 8 degrees. It stopped at, it started at 8 degrees Libra, I believe. Okay, that's not till another few days. We're on the 16th, 17th. Anyway, back to this. I'm looking at this and examining it, and I'm going, wait a minute. I do see that the moon is squaring Mars at 10:40 p.m. on the 7th. But officially, according to, and I'm using, the Llewellyn's Daily Planetary Guide here, it says that the moon does not, the moon is still void of course from Pisces on the 8th at 7:10 a.m. So if we count, for whatever reason, okay, it seems like it's a long period of time. So even from 6:46 p.m. to 6:46 p.m. on the 6th, that's 24 hours. And even to 6:46 p.m. on the 7th, that's 48 hours. Okay, and then until Mars, it is 51 hours. Okay, so that's what that astrologer was talking about. Now, but in my book, they may be made a mistake, and because it's even longer, it's more than 60 hours there. So pay attention. Maybe this is off. Maybe they made a mistake here, which you have to be, astrology is very, very nitpicky, and it's very Virgo-like. You have to really pay attention and focus in on the details. So if you want to know what else is going on the 6th here, as the moon enters Pisces, which is the most sensitive, the most emotional, the most compassionate. We all turn into big chameleons, and we just feel everybody's feelings. So even if you have no planets in Pisces, this is a time when you get to understand, hey, this is a Pisces mood. So we're all in Pisces mood here. It's introspective, it's about retreating, it's about working behind the scenes. It's creative, it's imaginative. Pisces rules film and photography and the arts. Projection, now not the same as projectors like in human design, but there is a similarity to that. So projecting what you want to see onto things. This is again the world of Hollywood and glamour and images. Hollywood is ruled by Pisces, and they usually always have the Academy Award in Pisces time as well now. So Pisces is a time when you reflect. It's a good time to do meditation work. It's a good time to do visualization or paint, dance, sing, whatever is creative for you, and be compassionate. It's also a time when your addictions are heightened and you're also really sensitive, okay? So you need to drink a lot of water when the moon's in Pisces. You should go with the mood of the moon. So drink a lot of water, take long baths, do a lot of cleanses, and also just releasing, letting go. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so every month the moon moves through every sign. So this is the end of the moon cycle here, so it's a time of letting go. Traditionally, Pisces is karma and addiction, so you're also really, really sensitive to any kind of medicine, drugs, alcohol. So be aware of that. We're also heading into, in Canada here, it isn't early, but it's Thanksgiving weekend. So the moon does make an inconjunct to Venus late at night in Pacific Daylight Time, and then that happens on the 7th. So that means that your projections of love and beauty and harmony in the arts onto your partner, Venus is in Libra, where she is in her home sign, she's exalted, you may not be seeing eye to eye because these inconjuncts, or quincunxes they're called, they're 150 degrees apart. Moon in Pisces, Venus in Libra. Water and air, they don't see each other. So there could be some interesting realizations there. They may not be easy though, okay? And then the moon also inconjuncts the sun in Libra. So a repeat of that aspect, because the sun and Venus are very close together right now. The moon sextiles Uranus in Taurus. That's at 3:45 p.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. Again, could be some unexpected information or expenses. Taurus rules money, or the stock market, of course, crypto market. Pisces moon squares Mars in Gemini. So this could be a sense of being compassionate, and a good time to have a deep, intuitive conversation, a good time for forgiveness, a good time to let go, okay? And then the moon conjuncts Neptune at 9:40 p.m. That's Pacific Daylight Time. So this is the best dreaming time of the month, okay? So really tune into your dreams the night of the 6th and the 7th. It's heightened dream time, lucid dreaming. Practice being the fly on the wall. That's my cat running around all over the place like crazy, what she does early in the morning. Vesta, get down. Hey, psst, get down. Down. Good girl, thank you. So pay attention to your dreams, okay? The moon sextiles Pluto on the 8th, and Pluto moves direct later that day, but I'm going to talk about that separately. So again, whenever the moon sextiles Pluto, the cat's running around, we can access the deepest soul. Hey, come on. The deepest soul qualities, okay? And really going into the depths. So the shadows, good time to do shadow work. I strongly recommend that you read James Hillman if you really want to get into real shadow work and traditional dream interpretation. And I'm also going to be doing a special 8-week cosmic healing dream temple course, which I'm going to talk about too. The moon opposes Mercury in Virgo, and that is where the moon is now considered to be void of course according to this. So the moon opposes Mercury in Virgo. Again, we get to have that realism versus the dream, but it's also a good time to bring them together, practical dreaming. So you could have body dreams, body recall dreams. The body will reflect any kind of health issues or worries about money, because Virgo rules that, your job, your work, things like that. And then the moon finally enters Aries and starts its new cycle at 11:57 a.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. And again, Pluto is turning direct after being retrograde since April. It does, moves backwards for 4 or 5 months a year. 5:56 p.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. So as Pluto moves direct, now I know that right at the end of April, that started off a big, huge family kerfluffle, which is still not totally resolved. Yeah, Pluto turns retrograde at April 29th. So think back about what was going on in your life in April 29th. In your soul, Pluto rules the soul, it rules the unconscious, it rules wealth, soul wealth, plutocrats, power struggles, corporations. Pluto in Capricorn rules career in general. So, but what have you built? What have you built in the dream world? Pluto in the underworld, it's, it is related to the myth of Persephone. So we have been in the dark, in the underworld. That's good. That's the realm of the shades, Hades, the dreams. But now we're coming up again, out into the world. We want to take what we've learned in this long night journey, poetically we'd call it that, the soul journey, doing the shadow work, and bring those shadows out and do the real work, the physical work, the body work. There's definitely a lot of talk about this somatic connection between trauma and the body, which was always true. It was pretty obvious, but we've been so detached from our bodies and understanding that everything is interconnected. Starts with the soul, the spirit moves down. Spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical is the lowest vibration, but they're all interconnected, okay? So we're also moving to a full moon, 18 degrees of Aries, with the sun and the moon and Venus very interconnected. 16 degrees of Aries, that full moon at 4:55 p.m. Moon and Venus conjunct the sun. Venus in Libra conjunct the sun. So kind of a very nice positive moon. So I want to mention this now. Jupiter will re-enter Pisces on October 28th. So we get a second chance of Jupiter exalted in Pisces. The sign it rules, very good for Pisces, very good for spirituality, creativity, dreaming, soulmates, and Sagittarians, because Jupiter is also the ruling planet of Sag. So I'm going to start an 8-week cosmic dream healing course. So if you want to find out more about that, you can send me an email at taragreentarot@gmail.com and to register for this 8-week course, okay? And I strongly recommend that we do this collectively because it's about healing our own shadows, healing the collective. We're going to meditate in star groups. We're going to interconnect. That group is going to be very intimate, dreaming in each other's dreams. Very powerful work. So if you've never done this kind of spiritual work before, it is really primal. There is dream yoga. I'll give you instructions about how to incubate your dreams and how to get ready for this. So that starts on Thursday when Jupiter re-enters Pisces, and Thursday is Jupiter's day. So Jupiter enters Pisces late, 10 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on the 27th. So get in touch with me. It's $222 for the 8-week course. We're going to go right until the 15th, just before Jupiter again leaves Pisces for the last time in 13 years. So join me to do this deep spiritual collective healing work for ourselves. All we can do is really heal ourselves. For the planet, it's about forgiveness and compassion and knowing our oneness. There's no more duality or separation. We really will feel that and understand it and connect with our souls at the deepest unconscious levels so we can really bring the unmanifest out. So the big epiphany I got today, everybody's about manifesting, and my spirit guide said, it is never about manifesting. It is about becoming the unmanifest or the unmanifested, which is soul, which is pure potential. So you want to pray for your soul to come fully into existence. Okay, material things, that's the illusion of the devil. Okay, You don't want to sell your soul to the devil. Yes, we need material things, and it's nice to have things, but we only need so much. I mean, the reason that the world has gotten so out of chaos is there's too much greed, too much commercialism, too much consumerism. I mean, that's corporate driven. We were all waking up from that spell. Okay, all that brainwashing for thousands of years, power over the hierarchies, it's all going down. It's going down March 23rd, 2023, when Pluto enters Aquarius for the first time in 245 years. So I could go on and on and on about this, but please, if you feel called to join in a collective cosmic dream healing temple, please email me, taragreentarot@gmail.com. Go to my website, taratarot.com. I'll send you some prep information. You can pay this out. You know, I want everybody who feels called to join me in this. It's going to be on Zoom, of course, but you know, there'll be guests. I already have a guest, Maureen Edwardson, who's worked with Greg Braden. She's going to come and give us a little magic carpet ride meditation. I have musical guests, so please join me for that. It's going to be also creative work. There's going to be homework to do. You have to keep dream journals and meditate at certain times. And so, yeah, do that. I'm looking forward for you to join me in that circle, sacred circle of healing for ourselves, for the planet, for the cosmos, because the Galactic Federation has been telling me I have to do this. Whoever feels called, please join me. All right? So sending you many, many blessings of the day. Thank you.